Hello, friend. Welcome to you. Today, we will learn what mountain men understood about cold that we forgot. In the age before heaters and highways, men walked into the mountains and made peace with the cold. They were called mountain men, wanderers, hunters, and trappers who carved life from the frozen wild. In winter, even rivers turned to glass. To cross them was to gamble with death and win through wisdom. At night, they gathered close to the fire, not for comfort, but for survival. Their rifles froze shut, leather cracked, metal burned flash at a touch. The cold showed no mercy. Yet, they didn't curse the winter, they respected it, because the cold could not be beaten, only understood. In air so cold it could shatter breath, they learned that warmth begins not outside, but within. Before sleep, they built beds of pine and hide, a thin barrier between flesh and frost. One spark, struck from flint and steel, was the difference between dawn and death. They cupped that flame like a newborn life, feeding it gently until it grew strong enough to fight the night. When blizzards came, they did not run. They endured, moving slow, steady, alive. In the frozen wilderness, silence was not emptiness. It was truth, waiting to be heard. They tracked the living by whispers, a breath of steam, a trace in snow, a flicker of life against white. The land itself mirrored their endurance, unbroken, unmoving, eternal. In the cold, the body weakens first, but the mind decides who lives. They shared fires, food, and stories, warmth born not of flame, but of brotherhood. They learned from wolves, curl tight, face the wind, and trust the pack. The wilderness taught them what no man could, to adapt, not to conquer. Their shelters were not fortresses, but extensions of the earth, simple, strong, alive. Today, we chase comfort and flee the cold, but in doing so, we've grown weaker. The mountain men knew the cold doesn't punish, it purifies. Jim Bridger once survived an entire winter alone, not by fighting the cold, but by learning from it. They warmed stones by fire and buried them in snow, turning the enemy into an ally. They brewed pine needle tea to keep life in their veins, wisdom from the wild itself. Jedediah Smith called the frozen wilderness God's cathedral, where silence and faith were one. When the frontier ended, so did the men who understood the cold, leaving behind only stories. Yet, the mountains remain, waiting for anyone brave enough to listen again. If you stand still in winter's hush, you'll hear it, the whisper of snow teaching patience. An old mountain man once said, "You don't survive the cold, you learn to live beside it." The warmth they carried wasn't fire or fur, it was spirit, and that warmth never fades. Optional closing narration for outro scene. The mountain men are gone, but their wisdom remains, a reminder that resilience is born where comfort ends.